everyone, it's Marisa from bumblebeeapothecary.com, and today I'm going to show you how to make pumpkin custard. So this is one of those desserts or treats that is very easy to make using very nutrient-dense ingredients. It can easily be made in a version that fits with the GAPS diet. So let's jump in and get started. To make this, I'm going to start by adding my main ingredients to a large mixing bowl. So I have about 4 cups of cooked pumpkin, and my favorite way to prepare cooked pumpkin for recipes like this and pies and other things is to actually just put the whole pumpkin in the oven. You can break the stem off, poke some holes for steam, and just set it on the oven rack at 350 degrees Fahrenheit for about an hour. If the pumpkin's a bit bigger, you might need to go a bit longer than an hour, but these pumpkins were pretty small, so I did that and it worked great. And then once it's done, you just let it cool until you can handle it, and then you can easily peel the skin off, scoop the seeds out of the inside, and then you have your cooked pumpkin ready to go. So I'm going to add about 4 cups of cooked pumpkin to my mixing bowl. Next, I'm going to add 4 eggs. Next, I'm going to add 2 cups of cream. Now, if you are on GAPS, you will want to make this cultured cream. Next, I'm going to add 1/2 cup of sweetener. You can use maple syrup. If you're on GAPS, you could use honey, or you could use dates blended with some hot water, or date syrup. I'm going to be using sucanat, which is like unrefined cane sugar, so all the minerals and everything are still there. Next, I'm going to add 1 teaspoon of salt, and then I'm going to add 2 teaspoons of cinnamon, 1/2 teaspoon of cloves, 1/2 teaspoon of ginger, and 1/2 teaspoon of allspice. I'm also going to add 2 teaspoons of vanilla extract. And then the next thing is to have a good way to mix everything together very well. So you could do this in a stand-up blender that was big enough. I'm going to use my immersion blender to just mix everything and blend it so that the pumpkin is very smooth. Next, you need some type of little ramekins or some type of dishes to bake this in. So I have these little 8-ounce glass containers that I'm going to fill with the mixture.
Garbage.
What happened with the garbage?
Garbage.
Oh, were you scared of the garbage truck? Oh, it's okay. So once it's all divided into individual dishes inside a larger baking pan, we just need to add water high enough that it'll go about halfway up the sides of the smaller dishes inside the pan. And then we're going to put these into a 350 degree Fahrenheit oven. And I'm initially going to set the timer for 20 minutes, and then we're going to work on topping during that time. For the topping, I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of butter into a pan, and then I'm just going to melt that on the stove. And then I'm going to chop about 1/2 cup of pecans. So these are pecans that I've actually soaked. So they're crispy pecans, if you're familiar with that term from Nourishing Traditions. So I soaked them in salt water and then dried them in the oven. So I'm just gonna chop these up until I have about 1/2 cup. Once I have those chopped, I'm going to just set them aside, and when I have my butter completely melted, I'll add them to the melted butter. The other thing that we'll need for the topping is a little bit of sweetener. So again, this can be the maple syrup, honey, or date syrup if you're on GAPS, or it can be more of the sucanat. I am going to do 2 tablespoons of the sucanat and then just let that dissolve into the melted butter. And then I'm just gonna set this aside. When the timer goes off, then we will put a little of this topping on each of those, and then we'll put them back in to continue baking for the rest of the time. Okay, the timer has gone off after the first 20 minutes, so we're gonna just add a little bit of this topping that we've made to each of the little individual custards. Now we're going to return these to the oven, and we're going to let them bake for another 35 to 40 minutes until they are done, and we'll be able to tell if they're done by jiggling them, and they will appear set at that point. Or you can also poke a sharp knife in the center and make sure that it comes out clean. Okay, the timer has gone off, and they are looking really good. So now you'll just want to let these cool a bit. You can serve them warm, or you can chill them all the way and serve them chilled. What we like to do is whip some cream and serve that as a topping along with some cinnamon sprinkled on top of the whipped cream. Okay, I hope that you enjoyed coming along and seeing how to make pumpkin custard. I hope that you give it a try, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we do. Check out that description box to links to where I like to buy the ingredients that I use, as well as links to free ebooks and other goodies. I have free ebooks about DIY home remedies, skincare, all different kinds of things. So be sure and check those out. If you did like this video, give it a thumbs up. Share it with anybody else you think would find it interesting or wants a new tasty fall dessert recipe idea. And if you're new to my channel, please hit that subscribe button. I get out new videos every week on nourishing recipes and natural living. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time. Bye.